Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and this is my Nether, which I'm building in the overworld. It is eventually going to be the same scale as a console edition size Nether, 256 by 128 by 128, but with the full. No, I think it's 256 by 256. You know what? It's giant, is my point. And yeah, I'm covering this entire area to give it some terrain. So it actually looks like a Nether rather than just a big red area with a few Nether quartz mixed in. It's a lot of fun, but it takes so much Netherrack. And this is a nice half inventory of Netherrack, but it just doesn't make a dent in this entire thing. So what do I have to do? Wow, I'm glad you already know, because this is part 8 in a streaming series, and this is a fun one to watch as your first one. But I actually have to mine a lot of Netherrack, and it just so happens I have a big tunnel that I need to mine out anyway. So yeah, here are some shulker boxes. I'm going to fill them with Netherrack, and then I'm going to leave them there. Although actually, are these ones filled too? They are. There's some extra shulker boxes laying around here that I need to take along with me, so that I can fill them with the Netherrack. Are there shulker boxes around here? You know, where did I put the shulker boxes, chat? You know, clearly they must be in a good place now. I just can't tell you where that good place is. Anyway, so I'm going to grab the next shulker box, I'm going to fill it, I'm going to grab some extra chests, I'm going to fill them, and I'm going to be doing a lot of mining in the Nether today. Because yeah, as you can see, in the overworld, flying around is so easy. If I know I need to go somewhere, you just take the straight up, straight there route. The Nether, on the other hand, is, yeah, again, this is preaching to the choir maybe, but it's really important that you know the Nether is not built the same way. The Nether has a big fatal flaw, in fact. You know, actually, yeah, I'm going to grab just a shulker box right now. I've got plenty more where that came from. Or maybe I'll make my own shulker box. Yeah, let's make 2 shulker boxes. You know, let's treat ourselves right now to an extra shulker box. And yeah, in the Nether, you can't just go straight up because there's terrain which will get in your way. So 2 shulker boxes, that's a lot of Netherrack probably. There's terrain that gets in your way if you try to do that. And so how do we get past that terrain? Wow, I'm glad you asked. It's a silly amount of mining. So, yeah, by the way, random name, you know, I'm not gonna, I have this big rule of, like, try to, it's important, it's hard to do, but, like, try to respond to positivity only. Like, if you, it's, we're all inherently wired as humans to, like, seek out negative, you know, like, negative things give us a big response for a reason. There's a really, oh, no, I hope he didn't destroy the, oh, no, you monster. I mean, he's literally a monster, but, like, you're also figuratively a monster. I hope you know that. Ugh, what a pain. I don't even have the inventory. Wait, I do. It just didn't pick up for some reason. So we want to not do that and instead do this. And there we go. It's all working, but just, gasp, please ignore me. Please get out of my way. Let's go. Okay, so as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by that big white guy, this is my tunnel idea. Because you can't fly around endlessly, so what you have to do is you have to dig a big tunnel. So you can see it's a little rough around the edges still. We've still got a lot more to do here. But the idea, I think it's somewhat solid, right? And yeah, to help me mine it today, I've also got myself a potion of fire resistance. But yeah, we're mostly just going to be coming in here, digging out a ton of blocks, making this a easy place for me to get through. It's going to be fun. It's going to be useful. And it's going to be other good things, I imagine. So yeah, we actually probably should have been closer to the ceiling before we mine these low blocks, because we need to make sure that ceiling pattern stays in place. So let's do that from down here, I guess. Mine this block. And that's a wither skeleton, so let's fight him before we get fought ourselves. Honestly, I have a question too, and I don't mean it to. Is your name really Andrew Andrews? I mean, it's... oh no, I'm going to die, right? I'm going to... No, okay. Immediately into this video, I have already run into the issue of low bedrock regen, which again, when you're working in the Nether, is a huge issue. Just like, you have to sit here, and we have to wait now, but that's fine. So, why is it always at inconvenient times, says IamBanana22. The streams are always done, roughly the same time every day. It's about 12:30 West Coast US, 8:30 UK. And I do appreciate that there's convenient times and inconvenient times for everyone. I used to like kind of vary my stream schedule a lot more to like kind of take that into account. But it means that you can always, it's that thing about we can be inconvenient for some of the all of the people some of the time by having a different stream day every single day. Oh god, man, I don't want to deal with this anyway. How are they? Okay, we're gonna This is fun. If we place down some torches in the Nether, that should do something for us. It does next to nothing for the actual, like, visible light level, but it should change the perceived light level, and the one that mobs use to work out their spawning. I love the tunnel. If you think ghast can be a problem, if they can see you near the minecarts and rails. Yeah, I think putting an actual minecart through this is not going to work, and we're relying on ghast not blowing up the blue ice. That's the only way this entire system functions. Which admittedly is quite a big if. You know, it's quite a big one, I would say. But it's one we gotta live with. So we can mine up through there, and then we can mine up through there. And yeah, getting the ceiling done is gonna be especially tricky, as you can imagine. So there's a block there, and then there's a block there, which means we can mine the one next to it. Yeah, getting this whole thing done, gonna have some trickiness to it, but it's important that we get it done. Also, revenge for stealing their brethren's skull. You know, you can say that right now, but on the other hand, I would say that, you know, do they even need their skulls? Like, they're skeletons. They're animated dead corpses. Like, do they really care? You know, it's an interesting question to wonder. Like, you know, if you didn't have to worry about death, how different would your life be? Because a lot of human everything is driven by death and fear of death to some extent. You know, even like aging is like something we see as a symptom that brings you closer to death. The reason you don't want to be old is not just because, like, well, your bones start creaking and whatnot. It's because you're closer to death. Ooh, spooky. Also, yeah, we're gonna keep on mining the sides of this tunnel, I guess. It's a nice, safe place to mine, if nothing else. And we're gonna make a slightly bigger, slightly better tunnel every single day, every single minute, maybe even. And then we're gonna place our shulker boxes somewhere super, super safe. Like, seriously, this has to be a surgical operation. We're gonna dig a few blocks here, place the shulker box in here. And the reason being that if this gets blown up by a ghast, like, my life is just over. It's not actually, it's just a shulker box, right? But, you know, it's a big problem. So there's my shulker box, there's my second shulker box. We'll fill them both with Netherrack today. By just, and in fact, just Netherrack, by making sure we do this. Pro tip, if you want to guarantee something's going to go into a slot, and it doesn't get filled up by something else, this is my bad pro tip. It also makes things look more full. It's very, very handy. So yeah, how large is this going to be? It's going to be this large the entire way through. It's 1,000 block course. There's some segments where it does go out into the open air Nether again. But yeah, those aren't the ones we're, like, mostly concerned about. Also, ouch. See, this is why we need the fire resistance, right? Precisely this situation right here. But yeah, I think if we mine out all the Nether bricks and we at least have the ground go low here, maybe. Honestly, yeah, it's one of the projects that I look at and I'm like, oh yeah, we got so much to work out here. You know, like, but mining in Minecraft is often about having in mind what you need to mine first. Okay, so these blocks on the side for, oh man, there's blazes there. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Avoid the blazes. Let's just take a healthy set of mine at the sides of this right here. Because after that too, there is obviously, so it goes into, 2, out 2, out 2. Then there's going to be a 5 going down. So we can logically conclude this is gone, and then this is gone. We can logically conclude that this is all the way gone up to there, and so on and so forth. We just move the 4 blocks below something, and that'll give it that'll give us some good space to start with. So okay, what's the best shulker box color? The best shulker box color is the one that you have. You know, that's like bad advice. You know that I've always heard that for cameras is like, what's the best camera? The best camera is the one you're actually gonna use. It's kind of true for a lot of things. Like, so many people are focused on getting the very best of something that they don't, like, they spend all the time buying the stuff and not actually doing the hobby. It is a weird, you'll notice this with lots of hobbies, actually. Like, to some extent, like, spending the money on the hobby is as much of the hobby as the hobby itself. Which is, I know, I think a lot of people find that to be a bummer. Because, like, you want to be able to just... Okay. Yeah, people find that to be a bummer because you you think to yourself that no, the point of the hobby is to do the thing, right? Yeah, a lot of hobbies that is not the case. Also, I think I meant to have another layer going out, right? Because one, yeah, it's one like there, which I've already got. I think I've got it incorrectly. You know, this is so confusing to try and match. But yeah, I think we have another layer out. This is why doing it in a consistent order makes a lot of sense, by the way. So I'm now going to fly around just so I can land up here. And I can work on some more of these blocks, which just need to go down to the ground. Goodbye, blocks. I think the best shulker box colors, whatever you choose to indicate what types of items in there. Yeah, like if I've got a Netherrack shulker box, doesn't a red shulker box just seem right for that? You know? You don't want to know how much I spent on my last hobby and made not a single one. You know that? See that's a prime example. I mean, because when you get into something, okay, you know, actually this is my hot take. For a lot of people, you know, you can blame capitalism, you can call it, you know, modern day economy, blah 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 blah. You can come up with whatever fancy words for this that you like. But for a lot of people, what do we call it? Retail therapy. Spending money feels good. You are getting things from someone else who put time and effort into it, or a corporation that put, you know, like money and that people are putting effort into doing a thing for you, and that feels good. You know, like for a lot of people. Again, like if you've ever gone to a shopping mall, a lot of people will just go there as a place to hang out. I don't even know what I'm gonna buy. I'll just go there and I know I'll buy something, and that will make me feel good. And to me, that's a little bit crazy. Like, it almost feels ridiculous. But that is a real thing. And so, for a lot of hobbies, it's not about, like... You know, what you want is not to have people do your thing. It's to have people think they want to spend money on your thing. If you look at the thing Twitter's doing recently, it's absolutely insane to most people. Like, oh, so the system that's there to verify that people are who they say they are, we're gonna just charge people and use that as verification instead. It's a funny idea. Has to be said, right? Very interesting social experiment that's going on over there. But it proves that a lot of people, you know, like laughed at the idea, but then tens of thousands of people bought it. 'Cause it's like, yeah, I will pay money to have this little bit of prestige or status or whatever you see it as. If you give people even somewhat compelling options to spend money on, and it makes them feel good, why wouldn't you do it? I think mine is partially ADHD. I have 20 hobbies I've bought all the materials for and then moved on. I mean, so I've heard the stereotype that ADHD people switch hobbies more often than normal people. That's what I mean. The non-ADHD people, perhaps you could say. But you know, at some point, it was also you've got to say, like, if the part of the hobby you're doing before getting bored is buying the stuff, maybe you don't enjoy the hobby, maybe you enjoy buying stuff. Is that offensive to say? I think that's a fair assessment, right? Tell me if you disagree. Oh god, I hate what a pain it is to get up these places. So we're gonna move the scaffolds here. Just because scaffolding is very clear that it's meant to be temporary. And then we'll start mining the blocks there. Perfect. Wait, is this perfect? Yeah, this is perfect. And then if this block is here, we obviously have to mine the ones directly above us. And then also the ones straight up there. And we'll make the tunnel just a little bit smoother, a little bit nicer this way. Let's do the same over here. Mine upwards. Do the same over here. Mine upwards. As well as these little blocks. Yeah, it's good to see you, Leanne, by the way. My music hobby is finally starting to earn real money, though. Hey, congratulations! That is always... It's funny, that's like the opposite thing. Almost any hobby can be a money sink. Can be a way you spend money. You can turn any hobby into a money-making method, I think. There is probably some... Also, yes, I love buying donations. Makes me feel so good, says Jingle Swag. Ooh, doesn't it? Jingle Swag? I see your Donkey Kong logo. I'm saying Jingle Swag over and over again. I'm validating your existence. Something like that. You know, you're tipping. And you're helping a craftsman. Because if you think about it, this is an artisanally crafted stream internet. I'm hand making this entire thing. It's just me here, mining some Netherrack, making a slightly nicer tunnel in the Nether. Yeah, I really need to get rid of as much of this as I can, but it's just a pain. Also, yeah, Blaze, try and hit me. Ooh, how's that going for you? Yeah, fire resistance is nice solely for that reason. It's just for taunting Blazes. You know, they think they can get you, but they can't get you. So yeah, this is 5 blocks upwards now, which means place some blocks there, and then mine the blocks above it. I think we've done that fairly well. I don't know why this right side is so rough, but it's nice to see it finally be unroughened out. Also, you know, even just the noise of the blaze is slightly annoying. Maybe I do have to go over there, show him who's boss, or just run away. Isn't it nice being able to run through fire, by the way? I think I ran out of dopamine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like what's the word? I'm like a contrarian. If you tell me basically anything, I'll try to tell you why you're ridiculous and wrong and all that noise. It's not necessarily the most healthy trait all the time, but it's who I am. And so a lot of what people in the modern day describe as various mental health conditions, like, you know, ADHD is about like dopamine reactors and like, well, your brain doesn't give you dopamine in the right places, and blah blah blah. And that is, you know, no doubt like a thing. But it also sounds like that is really broad. There is no way everyone doesn't have issues with like, oh yeah, I don't want to do things that I don't want to do sometimes. They don't give me the happy chemical. Like if everyone got happy chemicals from doing the most important thing to do, then we'd all be much healthier, happier, productive people, right? But I think everyone struggles with those things sometimes. I think like working out how to get your brain to do the things that you want your brain to do is like the human condition. That's my like again, maybe offensive to the wrong type of person. But that's my hot take, is that actually these blocks finally getting it done. Yeah, that's a thing at least. By the way, how's it going, internet? I'm having a fine Saturday. Thank you for asking. Just a fine one. Sunday. I know what day it is. Now it's been a rough little time for me. But like in that, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think I think one of the things I'm like trying to, so this is an example actually of like your brain's instinct to sad is almost like to make you more sad as you can be. And there's like a certain like, again, it's not joy, but there's a certain like good feeling in feeling the most sad humanly possible. It's almost addicting, you know. Like it doesn't make any sense that it's true, but it seems to be. In the same way, does anyone else have this? Like, I scratched my like thumb skin off. Like I don't even know why. I was just scratching it incessantly until it came off. But like it wasn't that it felt bad. It kept feeling good. And the problem is that it felt good. You should want that feeling sad should feel sad. And so your instinct when you feel bad is to do things that should make you feel happy. Your instinct when you feel whatever else. More it's not like physically not being able to do certain tasks like I want to, but I just can't. See, right, that's again, it's a weird thing because how many people I guess that's like there's two sides of the coin of doing something, right? Part one is wanting to do the thing. Part two is willing yourself to start the thing. And part three is like getting yourself through there. And I think it would blow my mind to learn that there are people who are like, oh yeah, I want to do the thing, and then the rest just happens. That's where I struggle with, like, is that everyone's got to have a little bit of something with that. Also, it's been a productive day. Got stuff lined up till at least the 3rd of December. Hey, congratulations, Cat PD. That is a good place to be. I looked at my schedule recently, and I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good till Wednesday, and then after that, it's like the 27th. I think writing down your exact status right now, like I always, if I don't write stuff down, I'll feel like perpetually ahead or perpetually behind on things. I think having like a firm schedule helps you feel a lot better. Like it used to feel, there was a little bit in my YouTube journey where I'd feel like, what am I uploading today? I'm gonna find out, and I better hope it's a good one. But like, it's one of those things where you can make it outside your own control, or you can try and make it inside your own control. Also, every Nether tunnel stream, you are boring the Nether tunnel deeper. Thank you very much for the joke, Thick Sand. I like it personally. You know, other people can say what they like about that, but I think it's a great joke. Every stream I've been in is drinking something strange. Today I've just got water. I was gonna go grab a Mountain Dew before the stream, but then I didn't grab the Mountain Dew. You know, I wanted to, but I could not. No, I really do actually empathize with the idea of like desperately wanting to do a thing and not really being able to. And I just think that there's lots and lots of explanations for why something can't be done, and it's like much harder to like explain why the things that can be done, right? Like no one's ever like, oh yeah, I have this thing and it just allows me to do great things. You drinking water is strange. I know, right? What am I doing? Drinking a real beverage? No, I think drinking water is important. I want to go on record right now and say that you should drink water. More water than you are currently drinking. You watching this stream, internet? Well, that's if you're watching this in a place that has water, drink some of that water. It's good for you. That's one of the few like weird gaming memes / jokes that I think is a good thing for everyone. We should totally all be drinking water. Don't you agree? Don't you think so? Also, I'm drinking. Okay, this is craziness. Okay, let's get back to it. No, the worst thing for me is like again, I'm not gonna label this or anything. I'm just gonna say what it is I'll sit down really wanting to do some important work. Like, okay, I need to make some videos or something. But rather than sitting down and just making a video, because, you know, YouTube isn't about what you want to make all the time. It's about, like, okay, what would be a good idea? What do people want to see, etc. And then spending, like, forever being stressed about that. Then eventually coming up with an idea, but being like, is this as good of an idea as I can do? Like, being stuck between two tasks and not knowing which of the two you should do. That's like that's a big struggle for me. Because, you know, there's no correct answer till way later. It's one of those unknowable truths, right? You just are not going to know which way is better till it's too late and you already know what you should have done. Just like in politics. It's always very clear exactly what we should have done a while ago. What about, you know, like, okay, you know, I reckon this is my crazy opinion, but I think that war is bad, and we shouldn't be involved in wars, except for World War II, which was, of course, a good war to get involved in on a moral level. It's like, well, you don't know that till after the fact. Like, the Bosnian War was pretty good to be involved in, Iraq was bad, yeah, etc., etc. You know, would Ukraine be a good one to get involved in? Also, please drink your carbonated crap of water bottle, but the tap water is just, oh yeah. I do love tap water, and the rest of that message made no sense. Sarah Langdon, find out your favorite water by watching Toy Cat's water tasting video. Man, that, I do have to say, I was so disappointed that it was, like, the cheapest looking brand of water that I would have never bought if not for that video. Because, you know, that was the thing that, to me, that proves that even though I want to say I'm buying solely based on what I like the most, you know, I clearly have some preference against various products. I can't drink tap water unless it's gone through a filter. I'm a big believer in unfiltered tap water because minerals are probably good for you, right? Also, I used to not brush my teeth very often, and I think the only reason I don't have black, falling out teeth is because of all the fluoride in the water. You know, it might be turning the frogs gay, but it's turning this guy, I guess, also gay, but like in the happy way, you know? When I went to the anti-war museum in Berlin when I was younger, it was a bit surreal and disturbing. Yeah, that's the... I think... Okay, this will make sense, but I've been watching Death Note recently. It's a really decent show about. It's a really interesting anime. You know, one of those Japanese cartoons. And the premise is quite interesting. It's like, yeah, you have the one guy is killing lots of people who arguably deserve to die, and one guy is trying to bring him to justice. And it's kind of like you know, they're facing off against each other. But the underlying premise of like, if you could kill you know, criminals in a harmless, well, not harmless, in a efficient way, and you know, like, would you do it personally? There's no repercussions, etc., etc. Again, really interesting as a premise, in my opinion. But the point that I think it always raises, I think the reason it's such a good piece of media is because most TV and movies take really safe points. Like, oh, did you know that, I don't know, like, Nazis are bad? Did you guys know that? I bet you might not have, but it's true. Or you know what? Did you know that actually racism is not good and you shouldn't do it? It's like, well, these are important messages, but they're important messages everyone already knows, right? Or at least everyone should already know, perhaps we could say. So Death Note has a much more interesting thing about, like, yeah, crime and punishment. Like, these are all people who have done something wrong, and should you really then, you know, like, you probably should try to catch him, but, like, is it that important? Is it, you know, worth spending resources? Because crime goes down after he kills all these criminals. And so, like, it makes... I think gray area villains are such good, like, narratively speaking, like, such interesting things to play around with. Because when we act like villains or war or whatever else, are just objectively hated. Like, yeah, no one is pro-war. No one is in favor of, you know, like, when we just act like, yeah, of course these things are awful. It means that in the real world, when you see those things, you're like, oh yeah, this is just bad. But then when you're exposed to them yourself, you'll think like, well, this can't be awful because it's got some good parts. Whereas, you know, like gray area villains, like flawed. Also, should I just mine this blaze spawner as well? It's a little bit too close to the path for my liking. Actually, wait, I'll just place Netherrack blocks around it. That's my plan. I'll just, oh man, I cannot make this jump for my life. If I mine the blocks around it, then I can place the Netherrack, and it'll be just on the other side of the tunnel. Okay, that is my genius idea. So it's 2 blocks here, and then it's another 2 blocks, which I can mine out now. And then after the 2 blocks, I think it's a 1 block, and we'll just, okay, this is a lot of fire. Yeah, I guess killing blazes is gonna be like a part-time job for a bit. Oh yeah, that's fine. You can keep doing this for a little bit, guys. I'd like it if you stopped eventually, but I see why you're up to what you're up to. There's a really interesting thing in the gray area villain that, like, oh, these ideas are appealing, aren't they? These ideas, they have something in them which makes humans like them. You know, like the death penalty is a really interesting one. Some countries do have the death penalty. Notably, actually, funnily enough, Japan itself did. You know, they effectively had their own death note. They could write their own names in, and then that person would die. You know, that all you have to do is pass the relevant courtroom. Also, thank you, Darren Hughes, for gifting 10 memberships. I'll say I'm gonna kill so many blazes while doing this, for better or for worse. And now this second layer, as you can see, we just place it through there, while also making this top layer go a little further, and then eventually it'll be, oh, that's the wrong place to place it. Eventually we'll have a ton of blaze rods, which is good. Always need some more of those, right? Also, thank you again. One of my favorite characters of all time is Londo Morari, a great character. He makes horrible decisions for noble reasons, then suffers for his poor judgment. See, that's interesting too. People who make really bad decisions for really good reasons. That's also that's Ned Stark from Game of Thrones. Like he's this like most honorable guy, but every time you see him, you're like, why are you doing this, man? This is not a good decision. Yeah, it's fascinating in my opinion. Also, yeah, we're slowly but surely getting this thing closed off finally now. Okay, so block there, and then there, and then there, and then Do we have another one there? No, we don't. We are going to have to mine out these blocks, which will make more blaze visibility, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, I love, even Thanos, like, I don't think it's a good of an example. I think Thanos is, honestly, they made him a pantomime villain because, like, they had to dumb it down. But the idea behind Thanos is actually quite elegant. He wanted to kill half of all life in the universe. Wow, what a bad villain. Except the reason he wanted to kill half of all life in the universe is because he knew that it could not sustain the life. There would be famine, there would be non-existence. So he kills them in a really non-painful way. He just, one day, snaps them out of existence. And honestly, that's, you know, like, that sounds bad, but is it the worst thing in the world? Also, so I can't out of the manual blaze farm, mad respect. It's true. It's, I am, indeed, out here making a manual blaze farm. Like the insane person I am. Well, see, I think filling this in, even though at the time I didn't see it as necessary, I think it just adds a little bit to the aesthetic. Just a nice little bit here and there. And that's a good thing. There's probably eventually going to be some mobs that'll spawn down there, so I'll regret having 1 block gaps. But it saves me a single Netherrack right now, so why not, right? Like, but yeah, this is, just makes the place look a little nicer in general. Who doesn't love that? Yeah, it's real nice here. I think I might almost be ready to start mining out some of these blocks here, by the way. Like, the middle of it, to extend the tunnel even more. But first, we're going to go back to where the blazes were. Make sure more of those don't come and get me. Oh, no. Okay. It's just quite challenging to jump on scaffolding sometimes. Also, thank you very much for 20 gifted Okay, wait, I should not be doing this while I'm in the middle of a blaze fight. Ooh, okay, I've survived somehow. I mean, I didn't get hit. Mary Kapoor, thank you not only for becoming a 1-year member yourself, but gifting 20 memberships to other people. That is very kind, Mary Kapoor. You're not Kapoor? I would say Kapoor because P-A-U-L, but I could see Capuel. No, Kapow? I'm gonna go with Kapoor. I'm gonna go with Kapoor. Thank you so much, Mary. I'm glad you've been liking the streams for a full year. That is crazy to say. Honestly, a year of anything is nuts. You know, going back to the hobby and getting lost in things. Like, having an interest in anything for a long time, it's hard for people to do, right? Okay, so I had my little tunnel off the side where my blocks were. There it is. I'm definitely gonna lose this if I'm not careful, but you know, I'm not careful. Even under threat of loss. And I'm also gonna have to just throw this glass bottle away. It's not important, but it is taking up an inventory slot. Same with the magma cube, honestly. Oh gosh. You know what the real gift, Mary Kapoor? We get to listen to Pigstep. Everyone loves Pigstep. Also, I feel like no matter how I hit these guys, they've just got slightly too far of a reach. So I always end up getting burned. But like, not burned with it, you know? Also, welcome to Toy Cat Wives. Welcome indeed. It's random who's gifted memberships. It is indeed random. The only thing that helps you is how much you've been chatting, how long you've been here, etc. Because obviously, memberships, like, the goal is for them to go to people who would enjoy them. I think that's obvious, to me at least. Yeah, that's my take at least, is, in general, people would prefer the people who would use something get the thing, rather than people that don't. I think that's where a lot of people's, like, upset with, in the real world, right? There's this, there's a problem that you probably have some feelings on about, like, vacant properties in your city. Like, there's always that fun fact that, like, ooh, number of homeless people, number of houses without people, homelessness is a choice. As if, like, yeah, that's precisely how it works. Like, amount of, you know, like, amount of Xboxes on Earth, number of people named Steve, giving everyone named Steve an Xbox is just a choice. And it's like, well, nah, I mean, maybe. I mean, sort of, but also definitely not. You know, actually, that's my least favorite, like, format for... Also, thank you very much, one more time, Merrick Kapoor, for allowing people like, Woo, to become members. Okay, so... Okay, I want to replace this block now with one of these. I am definitely going to have far too many blazes here by the end, but it's a risk worth going through, in my opinion. And, yeah, it's going to be nice. Do. My dad's name is Steve. I'm just saying, your dad could get a free Xbox if I was the one in charge. No, or, you know what, here's another one, right? Like, Microsoft made the same number of Xboxes as there were customers willing to buy it. But they got bought up by scalpers. And so, like, you know, like, letting, you know, forcing people to pay whatever amount is a choice. And yeah, actually, wow, it is. But I think there's a really interesting... Also, I think this shouldn't be 2 tall. I think this should be 1. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's getting a little confusing around here. Do. But it's fine, right? I think it's fine, at least. Do. Okay, so I have to go mine these blocks now because they're slightly inaccurate. Okay, that one was meant to be there though. We gotta make this like a snake that goes 2 blocks by 2 blocks by 2 blocks. Love listening to my favorite cat talk about nothing for a few hours since failed school. Exactly. What else is there in life besides talking about nothing for a few hours? But no, I even Thanos' concept of like, I want the world, you know, like people making really bad, evil things and doing them from compelling reasons is something we need to learn about, because that's how those things are presented to you in the real world. There's not a guy who shows up one day and says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Racist. Would you like to get aboard of my racist ideologies?" And you go, "Ooh, no, I heard about you in school, Mr. Racist. You're gonna have to go back to where you came from, Mr. Racist." Because that's oh, thank God you told... It's like, no, actually, they're compelling ideas because they do prey on something with some truth, but honestly some validity to them. Like, whatever bad idea you're thinking of, right? There's some nugget of truth in there that is actually probably some good. This is an idea they have pretty well locked down. Like the idea of yin yang is really smart for in this reason, because everything good has a little bit of bad inside it. Your most pure of intentions can be horrific when implemented, and everything bad has a little bit of good in it. Working out what the bad is inside the good and the good is inside the bad, and if it's all worth it, is an interesting thing that's worth trying, in my opinion. In fact, it's very much worth doing, and so that's why I spend a lot of time doing it. And so yeah, I really love Death Note because it makes you kind of confront that idea of like, well, you know, like he's doing something that you might agree with, and then he does some bad things here. Yeah, and then whichever guy you agree with does some bad things. Also, thank you, John Skinner, for the $10, and then Jen Emerson Hutchings for becoming a member. Appreciating all the members today. Love the member love. Wait, I love the member love. Yeah, that's a valid thing to say. You're allowed to love love. That's, I mean, if people didn't love love, we wouldn't have Valentine's Day, right? Okay, so mine all these blocks in the ceiling. Definitely making this harder for myself with how this has been set up, but it's fine. And yeah, we'll just make a big old stack of scaffolds, and then the magma cube can't get to me. Actually, can mobs climb scaffolds? It is just you, right? Yeah, just the player. So now we mine these blocks and these blocks, and then we put that one back, and then we put like one over there and one over there. We go. And now we can see how wide this is meant to be. We'll double check this later, of course. But for now, this is good enough. Just place me some blocks. Whoa! What just happened there? Did that just happen, internet? Did I imagine that happening? Darren Hughes is a radical Iron Brew bath activist. Darren Hughes is single-handedly responsible for hundreds of people watching me bathe in Iron Brew. I think this is a theory, and you know he can correct us all he likes. But I think the theory is that he saw that and he thought to himself, "Wow, you're right, Toy Cat. My bath doesn't even have an Iron Brew switch. It's just water. It doesn't even have sparkling water. And, you know, until this video goes more widespread, people won't realize how barbaric that is. Also, definitely I'm gonna have to replace that block there. Do mobs spawn on mob spawners through walls? I'm pretty sure they do. So we're actually gonna help lower the mob cap by doing that. I guess we can do that for other mobs if we see them. Or we could just kill them through the wall like this. I like that as an idea, actually. Get myself some blaze rods, get myself some XP, and then also prevent other mobs from spawning elsewhere. Yep, seems like a great idea to me. So then there would be a block there, and then that means the next block would be here, and then there'll be another block there, right, and then... No, have I got this right? I don't know if I've got anything right, honestly. Then we can definitely mine that block. Then we can definitely mine that block, and so on and so forth. Okay, we're getting the vibes right now, at least. Just make a nice diagonal tunnel through here. Replace some blocks when need be. But yeah, I think there are so many radical, scary, bad ideas that really are super appealing on the surface. Like, I'm sure at some point everyone goes, actually, wait, doesn't communism sound pretty good? Like, ooh, all of our needs are provided for. Like, oh, you don't have to do, like, oh, this. Why is anyone against this? Why is 99% of the world against me? And then in that moment, like, although you might later learn about like the historic reasons people are against the thing, you might later learn like, you know, what the majority. In that time, you're gonna be so distrustful of like, man, human beings suck. We worked out, you know, like this Mr. Carl fella worked out like 100 years ago how we can alleviate human suffering and what the cause for it was, and we just haven't done anything about it. Like when you when the gap between what you are 100% sure is right and what is happening grows, your distrust grows with it. Funnily enough, this is actually like a deliberate technique they use for a lot of third world countries. Like, if you distrust politics, then you don't engage with it, and so, you know, they're allowed to like seize power behind the scenes easier, which is kind of depressing and sad, but also interesting, right? Then why are Cubans going to Florida? Yeah, I mean, like that's the the point is that that's not the. If you just say to someone that it's bad, even if you just say why, even your point, right, is like, well, communism's so good, then why are Cubans going to Florida? And then someone can easily combat your one point by saying, oh yeah, well, Castro or whoever's in charge right now, they're really hated by the US. The US deliberately tries to thwart socialism and communism, and so really, it would be a really great country if not for darn America ruining everything. And then as soon as they hear that, they're like, ooh, tell me more. And they're like, ooh, did you know that actually the very notion of police are unjust, and that actually you can just say, I don't consent, Mr. Police Officer, and they can't do anything? And also, did you know? And then they can lead them down further like that. Whereas if we say that, like, yeah, actually, every terrible idea is not going to be presented by a man in a trench coat saying, I'm going to radicalize you today. Some YouTube channels do like unironically say my goal is to radicalize my audience, which is like, but overall, people don't usually say that. People usually are like, I'm just spreading ideas, and then it's your responsibility to actually be able to critically engage with those ideas, and say that, well, actually, yeah, you make a really good point about this, but that doesn't mean that you're right in saying that, you know, we should all return to a feudal system where the lords are in control and right, like learning that there is good inside the evil and there is evil inside the good is a really important thing. Or rather, just learning that, like, basically, I think knowing that all human beings are at least somewhat good. There are very few deliberately evil people out there. Where is my... I said I'd lose it, and now I'm like 80% sure I have. Here it is. Place my Netherrack away. But now the Netherrack is like 4 slots out of all of this noise. And let's fly back towards the rest. Yeah, we need different opinions, not ban them, or society can't... Yeah, this is the place I think a lot of people start to disagree with me on this. And again, this is, you can now critically look at my idea. This is not the truth, what I'm saying. This is my take. This is my understanding of the truth. Is that I think we need to take bad ideas and we need to debate them openly. Rather than saying, oh, this person said, said this one, like the one example that's like, so, it's like, it's spicy to even mention that people are mentioning it. But it's an instant ban on every major platform if you say that the big event from 1939 to 1945 that killed an entire race of people didn't happen. And what a crazy opinion to have, by the way. Like, what a, but actually, if you just, when you just hear that, like, well, of course, they're saying absolute insane stuff. But most people don't say that, oh yeah, it just didn't happen, that's not that. They'll say things more like, oh yeah, well of course it happened, but the numbers are wrong. Like, they were made up after the fact. Or they'll say, is there truth to that? I don't know for sure. Like, they'll say things like, oh yeah, well, it happened, but not to, not to the extent, or not to the brutality. The images were staged or whatever else. Like, there was something true, but who knows what it is. And when people, when you just hear that, like, it's real bad and you shouldn't hear about it, then you're like, okay. And then when you hear something that's actually more compelling from someone who does have your trust more, they're like, oh yeah, well, this isn't the bad thing. If it was bad, I guess it would be banned. Because, as we all know, the way ideas work are the really bad ideas are the ones you can't hear from. Or you can't hear about, rather. Trying to justify their own ignorance. I would be willing to bet that there is probably some tiny truth in, like, oh yeah, any estimate we provide is like plus or minus 5% of, like, we have no idea how many people actually died. But then it doesn't change that. No one's going to be like, oh, it wasn't 8 million people, it was 7.8. Oh, I guess, it wasn't so bad. I guess now I'm into that ideology. But you can present the fact that people dishonestly don't mention that it's plus or minus 5%. It's an interesting point, right? And that's why I think we need to, like, engage in ideas publicly. What I think is really interesting for this, because this came up because of the, you guys familiar with Twitter? It's this weird website with birds that everyone says they hate, but then everyone keeps logging onto to talk about how much they hate. It's a weird place, but also the top of this tunnel goes to a different place than the bottom. How very interesting. But yeah, there's this fun place. I think it's owned by that one guy with lots of money. Is he the wealthiest man on the planet? I think a lot of people have some feelings about that. But yeah, no, the interesting thing about it is they decided to, like, early on they said they do this, like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna reinstate like previously banned accounts, because the new rule is the only rule is that you gotta I don't know, like, follow laws, I think was the way they put it. And so also that if that gas blows up my line after all this effort, I'm gonna be upset. Gonna be mildly upset with myself. Really. More than anyone else. Okay. Well, he didn't get it, at least. Or she didn't get it. Okay, the gas is flowing away. Problem solved. But yeah, there's this really spicy thing. And I think it's interesting because the crux of the idea is, well, should someone who used, because everyone agrees maybe to some extent that speech is fine, but the line where you draw it is when, like, well, there's certain types of speech that are dangerous. There are certain types of speech that are bad. And are those the idea? Oh man, how do wither skeletons keep spawning there, by the way? Are the ideas so bad that you can't even, like, say, oh yeah, here they are, and here's why they're so bad? And if that's true, because obviously the really controversial one is President 45, 40, whatever. I like to give nice new. His name is literally invoking up emotions for a lot of people. Maybe understandably so, maybe not. Who knows? But the name is evocative of a lot of emotions, But people say, like, well, he should not be because he did quite a bad thing. Maybe a series of bad things. But there's one very, very, very big bad thing. And I think it's weird because if you look at other... it's like the US having this, like, very US-centric conversation. Because if you look at other world leaders, like, a leader that has committed war crimes against his own citizens in, in the Middle East, well, he's still on Twitter. That's in Syria. Yeah, it's not like a real country like us. He's not, it's not a democracy that my friends ask me about. So like that's obviously different, right? It's obviously different. But there is a really interesting. Oh, so please stop. There is still a there is a really fun thing in there of like, well, why aren't those other leaders bad? Why shouldn't we ban Kim Jong-un from Twitter? I don't think Kim Jong-un has his own Twitter. I think like North Korea though has a Twitter. Why does North Korea get a Twitter? North Korea is like, in the modern world, is there a country doing worse? Like the only countries that come close, you'd laugh by making the comparison. Like, well, like Venezuela or again, Syria's committing war crimes against his own people, but it's a war sort of scenario. Like he's bottom 10 countries, right? But we allow them on Twitter, and they spread propaganda on Twitter. They straight up, I'll tell, I'd go on their Twitter right now, but it's a thing. And the reason we don't care is because we don't genuinely think anyone's reading North Korean propaganda about how great and mighty they are, and with the Oblivion soundtrack playing. If you've never watched North Korean propaganda, it's very good, by the way. It convinced me. I used to think that South Korea was the good one and North Korea was the bad one. But then I saw some pretty compelling tweets that made me realize that like, oh no, it's North Korea that's the good one and South Korea the bad. They're really bad because Samsung and like the media, it's North Korea, best Korea. We're all vaguely online of it, right? But we don't ban them because we say like, yeah, you can. Here it is. It's dumb. There are going to be some people who are engaging with it. Honestly, on Twitter, you're not going to see anyone engaging with it, non-ironically, I don't think. But Vladimir Putin has a Twitter, right? Didn't he just commit a war crime against, not his own people? Commit war crimes against your own people, I snooze. Commit war crimes against, another set of people, that's a real deal serious problem right there. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to take the brave stance that actually maybe Ukraine doesn't deserve to be war crimed. Maybe, like no formal declaration of war and killing civilian targets and energy infrastructure. Maybe that's bad. I'm gonna come right on and say it. But should we then not be able to hear what the guy has to say? Is that constructive to do so? Because I actually, I have this, here's a funny thing, right? So I want to go on record of saying not only am I not American, there's like I'm not a guy who would vote for the controversial guy who got reinstated to it, right? That's just not who I am, personally. Okay, I just got a new thumbnail from Sean. Let's see what it is. It looks exactly the same as the old one. Oh, there's a typo in it. Oh no. Oh god. I never notice thumbnail typos. I don't even know how. Like, I guess my brain is just immune to them at this point. But I'm gonna go fix that. Because I bet there's some snarky comments about how I got the thumbnail. Oh, he spelled poisson. Have to admit, never changed opinion because of Twitter, because of careful general instant examination, not because of Twitter itself. Yeah, sometimes this is what they refer to as the rabbit hole. It's the idea that you hear something, like I'm not going to read a Trump tweet about how the election was stolen and then be like, wow, I guess he makes a really good point. I didn't realize how mail-in ballots are basically a form of cheating. But what you might do is you then might start looking into it and then find something else which is radical, and then look into that and find something, the rabbit hole. You get deeper and deeper in the more you go. And even then, it's like, well, you're saying that if something leads to something bad, it is bad itself. Like, you can use a box cutter to threaten a man to death, and then make him lose his life. You threaten a man to death, yeah. Threaten him so hard he dies. But no, yeah, you can use all sorts tools in this world, but we don't say like, well, it's it's bad because it can be used bad. It's like, no, it's bad to use it badly. That is the rule that we follow in this land, generally speaking. In lots of fun carve outs and exceptions to that, of course. But also, yeah, there's a lot of wither skeletons spawning up there too, apparently. Yeah, it's the way we tend to do things, except with information. In the modern age, whenever there's a paradigm shift, people try to use that to seize the power for themselves. I mean, if you want to be cynical, you can say that's true for Elon Musk with Twitter. Like, oh, now there is old Twitter is being replaced with new Twitter, and on new Twitter you have to pay money if you want to be verified. That's just how it is. That's just the way verification is. What verification is meant to be like a system where you no. Verification is when you pay money. That's what being verified means. Only real people can pay money. Bots don't have $8 or whatever like argument you might make. That is using the change to seize power. This is not seize power. That's kind of going over the top, but trying to paradigm shift because there's something new out there. And so for whatever reason, in the recent age, we've decided that like, oh yeah, you can write whatever you want in a book. You can print whatever you want in a newspaper. There are like, there's rules about like profanity and how well that can be shared, and like on TV, you can only swear after a certain time, right? But and in general, the rules are like, yeah, you can communicate with people. There's no limit on the ideas you're sharing. Just if people hate the idea, then that's your problem you're gonna run into. Except, also I'm gonna have to now kill the wither skeleton. Except when it comes to the internet. On the internet, in the early days, the rule was just, yeah, you can say whatever. There's a lot of crazy places where people take that to its most extreme you can imagine. Also, my worry is unelected officials telling us how to live. Yeah, my concern is I'm not a guy who's in favor of that one president who won an election, then lost an election, and now it is banned from Twitter and now wasn't banned from Twitter. My concern is that this is like such a big piece of like key infrastructure. This is how people talk to each other, and like you can effectively by setting the precedent that you can decide just by having a feeling that it's going to incite other bad things, that you get to make the decision as to who is allowed to share their thoughts on it. Is like you decide who the president's going to be, right? You know, like if imagine it the reverse way. If you really don't like the guy, because again, it's such a bad person to defend this for, because there's lots of reasons to be against him, to want him to be banned. But like if a candidate can never share their message, they can never be elected. If they can't be, but then also you don't want to say that they have the right to be on that platform. Like when they do, if they do something like, incite violence, that should be a ban too, right? That needs to be like not okay in some serious way. But maybe not a ban, maybe like it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Like I think the weird thing on the internet is that we have all these private companies, social media companies, that we kind of treat like they're public utilities. Also, where was that place? There he is. Okay, I'm gonna cover this place up just to stop this from happening. They can all spawn behind this wall if they like, but not in front of it. Yeah, it's a nice wall. Also, I'm not gonna wear my Toy Cat Christmas t-shirt, so it's only fair, says Sarah Langdon. Also, note with the time when the 45th president started and see if the view numbers fell. Anyway, bye everyone for now, says Daniel A. It went up slightly. I have it in the corner of my eye. We went up about 25 viewers. I wonder if that's, like, people would have joined anyway. Or if there's like a... Because people do like a spicy conversation. I think we could... if I was going to give you a really compelling argument as to why that bad event in 1939 never happened, you'd all be horrified, but you'd want to listen, right? You'd want to know. You'd be there like, wow. I mean, You know, I know you're wrong, Toy Cat, but okay. Even if you're just there to report it, you know, you're there like, well, this is all terrible, and someone needs to do the honest duty of reporting it. And I guess that someone can be me. You'd want like there's a bunch of Minecraft on YouTube. Let me share. This is an issue that's near and dear to my heart. This is like something I think should be banned. You know, I'm arguing all this time about like how important it is to have access to platforms that we treat as effectively utilities, etc., etc. Also, didn't I just block you off? Thank you so much, Darren Hughes, for the 10 gifted memberships. Yeah, I think so many memberships. Also, can you do a continuation of your first Minecraft world? My very first ever one was is like lost to history. It's on my friend's hard drive, and he reformatted a long time ago. But I do love to hear some pig step. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Yeah, we're just gonna mine up from here. These blocks obviously don't need it. Also, ouch. Yeah, gotta love it. Thank you so much, Darren Hughes. Again, Darren Hughes is an Iron Brew enthusiast, and he will not stop until enough people have seen the Toy Cat Baby and Iron Brew video. That's just how it is. That's not a theory. That's just facts. You know, you can disagree with them, but that doesn't make you right. Also, oh god, there's blazes over there. I was gonna try and throw the mushrooms in the fire, but I guess I should just get out there, eat to get my health back, and then go put the Netherrack away. Santa Toy Cat is yes. If I'm not mistaken, you can't get the Santa Toy Cat shirt anywhere anymore. I mean, it's November 20th. We're so close to December. How dare you wear a Toy Cat Christmas shirt? Those are meant for February to October. Maybe November to push, but you definitely shouldn't be getting one now. Gotta love the pig step, right? It's hard not to. No, the gift system's really good since I do not have enough money to pay for it. I think the gift system has a lot of upsides and a lot of flaws. I could probably talk for a long time about both those things, but I shall not. Shall not. Shan't, if you will. Okay, so let's get back to this bit right here. Make sure there's a second block missing from all of this. Very, very nice. And then after that, we'll do another block down. Okay. How are you doing, Blaze? Thoughts on mobs being able to do more the longer you play in a world? You mean regional difficulty, right? I think regional difficulty is such a good Minecraft feature.
I don't mean to be political, but cakes or pies?
Oh, wait, okay, wait, one sec. Cakes or pies? I heard gates or buys, and I was like, oh no, is this like which billionaire would you rather have? And then also, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Nice. Ouch. Okay, I'm on fire. That's good though. It's good to be on fire sometimes. Cakes or pies? I think pie can be really good. I think cake has a more, it's gonna be great on average sort of thing. Oh, that reminds me, chat. I think I should get an ice cream cake. Like I said, I've been having a sad time. I've been eating a lot of ice cream, I'm gonna be honest with you. You can read into that as much or as little as you like. But I've been eating a lot of ice cream. And so I was thinking to myself, you know, as people do when they're thinking. Like, well, I've been wanting an ice cream cake forever, right? You know, if you don't know that, then now you do. Should I get myself one? And if so, what's the best ice cream cake I can get at like a chain store? Like I want, oh Christ, oh! See, that's why we need to have walkways or something. Cheesecake wins all. Honestly, I used to be such a big cheesecake aficionado. I think right now, I feel like a good dessert with some... Because the cheesecake's got the cold and, you know, like hard kind of mixed in there. I think I want like a warm chocolatey dessert with a nice ice cream on the side. Wear a Santa suit for Streamless, says not Cat Beanie. Well, I mean, it's not Cat Beanie, so I mean, who knows what I should do. Actually, you know, let's get me a Santa suit for Christmas. That's a good idea. I'll, that is the thing I want to do. Actually, while we're here, I want to talk real on this. So I want to do Streamless. It's something I've done every year since live stream began, to some extent. I think I skipped 1 year, but it's been back ever since. But there is one issue that I always have with it. Also, thank you for the tip. Ice cream cake fund. Well, there we go. I can get an ice cream cake now. That was easy. Yeah, tell me, chat. What's the best place? Like, every super, like, my local Winco has like an Oreo ice cream cake. It costs like $20. Is that the one that I want to get? I want to get an ice cream cake. Tell me where I get one. Like, I want, like, if I go to Walmart, are their ice cream cakes good? Like, tell me where I need to go, and I will go there. That's what I'm gonna ask. Also, ideally, it should be like, I was gonna say it should last, because I don't have a car anymore, so I'd have to like walk back from the store with it. You know, I'm sure it's fine. Also, yeah, self-sourcing puddings, warm apple pie with ice cream and camera. I've never had an apple pie where I'm actually in love with it the same way everyone else seems to be. I don't know, like, I don't know what happened with all of your guys' ice cream cakes that made them so, I mean, all of your apple pies that clearly made them so good for everyone. But I was just not at that meeting when it happened. Sadly indeed. Well, see, I'm going to place all these blocks just to, I think it makes the main path a little bit safer feeling. Okay, remove that. And also, uses a bit of Netherrack. Oh, looks like we're missing a block here. Are we missing a block? I think we're missing a block from the whole pathway because of this. Yep. Glad we spotted that now. But also, that's a lot of extra Netherrack to go run and place. Yeah, that's a lot of Netherrack. So we'll do the same on this side, just so we're absolutely sure that we got this right. Always important to have these. Also, apple pie is not good. If you have to eat one, gift for a Dutch apple pie. Ah, yes, I love the Dutch apple pie. This is my Dutch accent. It's very good. Yeah, that was awful. Also, apple pie is British. I like, if I'm eating a fruit pie, I really like, I like cherry or I like rhubarb. I guess apple and rhubarb maybe would work. Yeah, like I like a rhubarb crumble though. Like if I'm eating a warm dessert, I don't want pie. I want a crumble, or I think it's called a cobbler in United States English vernacular. Like it's just there's just no question as far as I'm concerned. Of course, that's what I want. How could I not? Also pumpkin pie. I haven't had a pumpkin pie yet. I think I'm running out of time to get one, right? Also, Leanne Vandermeer, I'm very defended by your Dutch accent. Apple pies are better when someone bakes you one. Honestly, every dessert is better when it's baked for you. Like, if you go out of your way to eat pie, that's making a bad life decision. If someone makes you a pie, well, I guess you've got to eat it. It would be rude not to, right? And so that is how it works. Them's just the rules. I don't make them. I'm just telling you about them. So now we'll... Looks like we're missing a block here. As well as here, and all of here too. It's a good thing I'm placing all these blocks, just to be absolutely sure. Blackberry crumble is good, says George C. Oh, blackberry crumble, yeah. I hate blackberries, but in a crumble, they slap so well. They hit in a way that cannot be matched. English steak and ale pie is king. Oh yeah, I really love me some steak and ale pie too. Has to be said. Honestly, even get rid of the ale in the steak and ale pie, and we're talking. I know that it's like traditional, whatever. Just give me like steak and mushroom pie, and I'm perfectly happy. I'm having a good time. You know, you don't like. I hate cooking where we throw. Like, I can just about enjoy whiskey flavored things. There was a whiskey flavored ice cream at the ice cream store I went to yesterday or the day before. I don't know days anymore. Also, that's German. Also, okay, I'm gonna do a Dutch accent to offend Leanne better now. I am from the Netherlands. I speak with a Dutch accent because I am slightly Hollandish. You see, in the Netherlands we have many provinces. In the north we have Flevolando, and in the south we have Amtweepiepeep. Yes, you see, we love the crocken balls. The crocken ballets are one of our favorite delicacies. It's made from a ball, and then we crocken it. It's very delicious. Oh yes, I love the the crocken. Actually, you know, is it crocken ball? Crocken balls are delicious, by the way. Who is this Dutch man, and where did Toy Cat go? Exactly. Thank you for agreeing. How great my... You know, I'm glad we can all come to one point in there. How many languages do you speak, Toy Cat? I speak English, but I speak it in a French accent well enough that you might assume I was speaking French. No, that's my worst characteristic. Whenever I go somewhere that French is the dominant language, I just speak English with a French accent. Like, hello, how are you? This is not French at all. I'm bonjour. Hello, yes, I'm French. What accent is this? I do not know. Is this French? Ah, oui, baguette. There we go. Saved it. Brought it right back in. You know, you might have been concerned there, but it's all good. The accent's back. So place all of these blocks down. Just so I know what to remove for the next layer. Of course, being one set of all of these. And then, yeah, let's go. Also, and yes, you offended me real good. Perfect, exactly what I was going for. All I needed in life. Okay, so then mine all of these blocks out. Perfect. Wow, that was incredible. Hollandish. I know Dutch people hate when people confuse Holland and the Netherlands. Although the one Dutch guy I ever knew, like in school, like said he was from Holland. And I still don't know, was he from the Netherlands? Like, did he make the same mistake I did? Or did he not know? Did his parents say he was from Holland and he just kind of went along with it? It's one of those things I'll never know. I remember being like 12 and I asked this guy what something was. You know, something I just heard. Like, it has the same name as like a thing that you might, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere. Well, if you go somewhere, then you're gonna, you know, but like someone's gonna overhear, you know, like they're gonna, so I asked him what that was, and he's like, oh yeah, it's milk, and like at the time I was like, oh, that's interesting, but later I realized what an idiot of a child he was, or maybe he was an epic troll. That's the funny thing when you say things that are wrong. This kind of goes back to misinformation. You know, this guy would have been banned from Twitter back in the day, in my dream world. If you mix it a little bit more, it'd be Hollandaise. Hollandaise is a good source. Changed my mind. Yeah, no, there's I also thought that it was just called Holland when I didn't speak English just yet. See, you know that I think that's such an interesting. Like, it is very strange. Like, I always found it strange that, like, wait, so it's the Netherlands, but it's Holland? But then you learn about, like, well, Germany is called Deutschland in German, or in Deutsch. And, like, it's called Allemagne in French. Like, it's got a different name in every language for whatever. Well, not every language, but there's lots of different names. And so it's just one of those weird things, right? And people think that Amsterdam is the Netherlands, says Angela van Kampenhout. If you've ever been to Amsterdam, it's basically a part of the UK. That's what I tell people whenever they're visiting Europe. Like, Amsterdam's great, but it is just a part of the UK. It might as well be a British exclave. You'll see some Irish people or some Australians there too sometimes. You know, maybe even some Germans if they're going real wild. But 99% of people you see in Amsterdam are British. That's just the way things be. Germany is Saxa in Finnish. That is fun, that is. Also, it's all very confusing. We Belgians call the Netherlands Holland just to take the piss out of them. You know, I mean, something about glass houses and throwing stones when it comes to Belgium making fun of anyone. Just saying. Just saying. The Amish in the US speak Pennsylvania Dutch, which is a corruption of Deutsch. Yeah, I've heard that fact that it's widely known as Pennsylvanian Dutch, but that's because people are, which is again, that to me that goes to show the funny thing. Like, people from the Netherlands speak Dutch, yes, okay, and people from Germany speak Deutsch, yes, okay, that's not good. No one's gonna remember that. We're all just gonna call you whatever we want to call you. Okay, sounds good to us. We live in our own communities. We have no clue what you're selling. Oh, something I want to do next time I'm in like northeast US, I guess it'd be. I hear Amish people there will like have like bake sales, which sounds fun to me. You know, we're talking about desserts right now. I want to eat Amish people desserts. Like, they've got to be so good at desserts. They don't have Minecraft. They don't have the internet. They don't have, you know, all these modern processes for food. They had to work with what they got. I bet they make an amazing dessert. If I was on an island with no Minecraft, I'd get really good at baking. Because, like, I like food, and you can't eat food all day. You've got to spend some of that day making the food to eat. No, they cook good food. I mean, what else are they gonna do? It's like when someone's in prison. If you come out of prison in worse shape than you went in, it's like, how did you do that? There's no McDonald's in there, man. You have to like actively want to be out of shape to, you know, like they give you these big sessions where you're in your yard and everyone's, you know, you're letting the side down at some point, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna run back here and make sure these sides connect. I have a theory that they will not. Oh, they actually do. So I guess that means the tunnel is the right width the whole way through. Or maybe this is just incorrectly aligned to that. We'll see. We'll see. Also, you really need to hit PA in August for a county fair season. I mean, you'll gain 20 pounds, but... Oh, I'd gain 20 pounds? So I'd go there and they would give me money? Well, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal. Cooking is fun. Cooking actually can be fun. I think there's a difference between cooking and baking, maybe in here, that's worth mentioning. But yeah, cooking can be very fun. It is true. Is it always very fun? It is not always very fun, but it can be very fun. So I'm just gonna go run back, look at this entire thing, and make sure this isn't misaligned. This feels like such a short pathway, being only 5 blocks apart, but I could be wrong. I just want to make sure that this is all the way right before we commit to doing too much more of it. Also, we'll fill in the gaps again, just to make it look a little bit nicer. We'll fill in all these gaps as we go. Yeah, no, I really do think we got this. It's just that wide. If there's a mistake, it's so far back we can't even spot it. So then we go 2, and then we go 1, and then we go 1, and then we go 2 the other way. That's nice and easy to remember. It's nice and easy to implement. So now we'll follow this thing to the side. Actually, what I'll do is I'll jump up here, because after this 1, 2, there's another 2. And so we can run along this, kind of just mining it, right up until the edge. Get a few extra blocks in, because why not? And then that's where it ends. So then after that point, we'd have to go over here, then re-establish contact, which we'll do now. And also, I'm currently cooking my dinner. Happy dinner time. How's it going? You having a good dinner? Is it gonna be great? I got a coupon for 65% off on Postmates. It comes with a really weird condition. Like it's during the pandemic I got really into ordering delivery food. I've been like less into it since then, but like anyway, I mentioned that so I can say that like I hate the way in America it's so much worse. Like it's already quite bad in the UK, but here it'll be like 65% off, and you're like, my god, that's such a good deal. I'm going to take advantage of that, and it'll be like 65% off up to $30, and you're like, okay, that's fine. I'll order $30. Okay, minimum order $35. Why have a limit of $30 and then have a $35 minimum order? Some people might think, well, okay, well you just spend $5 more, but then that's bringing your effective percent off down from 65% to like 55%. and then you pay taxes on the pre-discounted price. I don't think that's how it actually works. Like, they're charging you taxes that you're not then paying to the government. I think in a lot of countries that's legal. It doesn't seem like it is here. So then they charge you taxes on the original bill. So, you know, like, instead of, you know, like, what you should be paying $12 if you're 35, you're actually paying 15. Then you're paying the taxes if it's 35, so you're paying 18 now. And then you're paying delivery fees like it's the full... And it all just stacks up to the point where you're like, okay, just offer me 20% off next time. Just just be honest with me that this is I think it's actually more like 35% off or something. It's a good deal. It's definitely worth doing. But it just feels very disingenuous to be like, ooh, this is such a great thing we're doing here. I'm not sure that is what they're doing. Also, I'm a little bit lost. Where is this tunnel? How did I end up in this? I kind of just started mining and then got lost. Okay, that's how. So now let's come back over here. And let's build the walls on this side. Actually, no, I'm gonna build the... I want to actually have this like... The side walls are like really important to me. Just so I can be sure as to what goes where. Because yeah, look, right here, there's a missing block. This is only 4 blocks. It should be 5. There's a block missing. And if I hadn't spotted that mistake, it could have gone quite badly for me. It's okay, if you're having trouble making easy weeknight meals, I recommend watching videos from Adam Ragusia and Ethan Chabowski. Those guys are lifesavers. I do watch a lot of cooking videos, and I think it's quite an interesting thing. Like I also just think that like even the best cooking is still very time inefficient. Like compared to ordering out. Oh Christ! Like ordering out isn't actually the fastest way to do anything. It's the least fault. So like there's some benefit for that. Maybe we can make a mental health argument for Postmates or whatever. But actually, quick reminder. I'm gonna go hit order now. Got my basket ready, but I figured, oh no, I'm about to stream. Can't be ordering me some Postmates or Uber Eats or whatever it is. I think it's the same company, honestly. Also, hey, thank you,
a social relationship. I would like attention.
William. How's it going? You having a good day? I'm gonna stop what I'm doing in Minecraft, not to order, but just to talk to you, William. How's it going? You having a good day? You having a bad day? Would you like to have a bad day? I can help with that. Or I can help with the opposite of that. You tell me what you need, and I'll give it to you. You want... Also, you know what confuses me? Okay, you know what confuses me? That ghast destroying my life and my soul and my dreams. Okay, I've made the order. It's on its way, internet. When it's here, that'll be the end of the stream. Easy way to determine that. Oh, it says try another payment method. Well, that's a problem. I'll try this payment method, I guess. See if that one works. Yeah, let's do this. Also, hey, thank you. What is your opinion on the full English breakfast? It's very good. No, William, I'm glad you like our parasocial relationship. I think a lot of people, are afraid to admit, like, oh, I like those people on that telly box thing that say the words. It's like, oh yeah, that's not what you're meant to do, or whatever. But in reality, like, yeah, I mean, you are spending a lot of time around me. It's very parasocial. It is. We are not friends. You can't ask me to help you move, because I'm going to say that is a strange request. Please get out of my home now, sir. But, you have a greater insight as to how I think than you might do for lots of people you do see on a daily basis, that do talk to you on a daily basis. Okay, I gotta change my payment method, internet. I'm gonna get there. Okay. I've changed my payment method. I don't know what just happened, but it's so sneaky. Like, I changed the payment method and it decided, like, oh, so you don't want that discount anymore? It's like, of course I want the discount. Why would you assume I didn't? Okay, so I'm gonna... There's so many boxes to tick. Like, gotta make sure I've agreed to the terms and conditions first, obviously. Okay, I've placed the order. It's happening. Hang tight. Okay, wonderful. Won't you help him move? That's harsh, lol. Okay, you know what, chat? You're right. That is actually quite harsh. I've got a new rule. that if you tip over 12 pounds, I will help you move. I'm not going to be precise about how I'm helping you move, but I will help you move, or where I'm helping you move even. Man, ordering is so hard. I just wanted to do this. Okay, so you want to know what I've ordered, Internet? I got myself a sandwich, I got myself a taco, a cookie, and then I got something like with some ahi tuna in, because I love some of that. It's a sandwich, I think. No, wait, that is the sandwich. So I got... There we go. Okay, it's on its way, Internet. I can add items from 7-Eleven for no fee. So do you think I should get myself some convenience store items? Wait, chat. Tell me what it is. Whatever it is, if it's available from 7-Eleven, I'll buy it if you want it. Okay? If you pay, that's actually, you know, what should I get? This is a weird thing I've noticed only in America. Like you can get free convenience store items when you order something. It's quite a cool feature. A Santa suit. I'm gonna buy a Santa suit. Give me a reminder after stream, cat. I liked my giant turkey last year, but I think the Santa suit might do a bit better. A Slurpee, of course, says Scoopski. Cat. Wait, will they have ice cream cake? Wait. Okay, I'm gonna look. What do we reckon? Get Dr. Pepper, it tastes good. I don't think I've ever enjoyed Dr. Pepper. Like, I know it's meant to be a complex flavor or something or other, but I don't see it. I got some bad news. I don't think they sell ice cream cakes. They sell ice cream cookies, and they sell pints, and they sell Hagen-Dazs, that famous brand, but they do not sell, as much as I might want them to. Yeah, it's how do you count the Netherite blocks? Honestly, I just check the chest at the end of the day. You gotta, like, we have to round up, round down. It's very close to being accurate. If it's not, because, you know, obviously during the stream it becomes inaccurate and all that sort of stuff too. But I think with these sorts of things, you just gotta have, like, some method and make sure you're roughly sticking to it, right? Also, ouchie. You gotta stop destroying my blocks, Ghast. It's kind of not cool. I would say it's very not cool, in fact. Okay, so now we remove that block, and then we also... Yeah, okay, now we got this gun just right. And then there. Yeah, it just so happens that this actually was 5 blocks across, and so this was already correct. Perfect. Also, thank you very much for the tip. Oh no, Cancerous Attitude. Okay, you know what? Cancerous Attitude, where are you moving? Give me the address. Do it via stream tip, obviously, so we can all see it. And I'll be there within the week. There's a dangerous game we can both play. No, I would love to help you move. I really do think that is, like, moving is the worst thing a person can do. So helping you to move is the nicest thing a person can do. That is that's my crazy take. You can tell me if you disagree. But yeah, that's how I feel. Also, never liked Dr. Pepper, it's yuck. You know, I'll get a Dr. Pepper. You got me curious. What does a Dr. Pepper cost at a 7-Eleven? I bet it's a reasonable price and you're not overpaying for the convenience. I bet that's how this is. You can get, okay, Dr. Pepper, 20 ounces, $2.79. I've always been, like, psychologically trained to think, wow, that's expensive, I'd better not get that. I'd love to be the sort of person who can think, you know, I feel like, I actually wouldn't love to be this. This is almost like a giant psychological change. But it must be nice to be the sort of person who doesn't even think like, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. It's just, I want the thing, I get the thing. Like, to me, there must be something, like, calming about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there's lots of things I'm wrong about. This could be one of them. You always overpay at a convenience store. Except for Slurpees, which are just 79 cents. Man, I cannot get over the value proposition that is Slurpees. Like, it's just, it's so good, and there's so much of it, and it's so cheap. But only in America. Only in America. Or probably Canada, and I think also, like, Sweden. But even then, it's not as cheap there. It costs a lot of crowns. Also, I would ask you help me move, but I'm Firstly, not moving. Secondly, I live in Australia, a bit out of your way. You know what, Cookie Cat? I would come all the way to Australia to help you move. Of course I would. Also, yeah, Cancer's Attitude, I'll be right there. You gotta tell me where I'm helping you move, eh? Also, I'm running out of time to make this order. What do I get, Internet? I gotta buy something at the convenience store. It's free delivery. I mean, why wouldn't I? I can get fresh food. I'm already ordering food. It's funny, in the fresh food section, can I show you this, Internet? In the fresh food okay, I wanna make sure you can see this. In the fresh food section, the first option is like a Twinkie. Yeah, or 2 Twinkies, I should say. It's 2 count of Twinkies. I think I'll maybe not do that though. If you all agree with that decision. I can get cake. I can get ice cream and I can get cake. If I just mishmax the 2 together, is that the same as having ice cream cake? Or do you think I'm missing some of the purity that I should be getting by doing that? How do you reckon, Internet? Also, okay, I got 4 minutes left to decide. This is important. This is the big leagues. Also, Ukraine. Oh, is that the address? Should I just type that into Google Maps? See how long it takes me to get there? That's a good idea. You know, let's do it. Let's go. Let's all go help Cancer's Attitude move together. Twinkies count as veggies in America, right? I mean, if they don't count as a vegetable, I mean, they've got like all the essential ingredients to get your day started. Man, Twinkies actually are very good, right? I know there's jokes about them and they're awful and blah 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 blah. I think Twinkies are great. You have to get a Slurpee. You know, okay, you've sold me. I'm getting a Slurpee. Drinks. Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm dying instead. Ooh. I didn't even see where it was coming from. I just knew I should be ducking. Okay, let's just run inside here. Toy Chat rocks up to Ukraine to help one guy move. I mean, you know, people always talk about the big horrors of like, oh yes, we cannot turn on lights in Ukraine. It is very sad. We do not have food or water. But you know, the real tragedy is, I want to move, but my friend, he's dead. You know, I'm just saying, that's also tragic. You know, it's less tragic. We can have conversations about how, you know, there's different tiers of tragedy, and you know, in the same way there's different levels of offensive, different levels of bannability on social media. But we shouldn't say that it's not sad that you want to move and your friend can't because he died in the war, right? That's a real problem that someone is dealing with right now, and they can't talk to anyone about it. They might want to go to their therapist, but their therapist, you know what's happened to him too? Same problem. It goes all the way up. Okay, so now we mine the next layer of these in. I am slowly getting a tunnel that stretches the entire Nether. Very satisfying to say the least. Like, I think getting some more height in here so I can actually fly through it would be great. But for the meantime, I'm happy with what we have. I'm sorry, but this Twinkie thing looks like fake bread filled with fake butter. Yeah, I think that's why people love it, if I'm being honest. Fake bread filled with fake butter sounds so good. Oh yeah, I love one of those. Yeah, definitely get me some of that. I don't have YouTube Premium anymore. That's tragic. Maybe after December. Maybe. Yeah, no, YouTube Premium is nice. I definitely couldn't go back. I mean, I obviously could go back, but I would like to not go back. Yeah, YouTube Premium's a real nice game changer. Like, first of all, not having ads. Being in America during election season makes you realize real quick that ads are not a fun friend. Secondly, also it's fake bread filled with fake cream. Yeah, that's a better way to describe it. You're right. Fake bread filled with fake cream. Ooh, there's a okay, you know, I've added a drink into that. What else should I get? You know, I just feel like I'm wasting an opportunity here. Should I get the Twinkies? I think I should just get the Twinkies. What do we reckon? Should I? Is it worth doing? 99% of election ads is just someone saying the other person is bad. It's because we all feed off fear more than we feed off like positivity. If they're like, if I was in charge, I would do this thing. You're like kind of zoning out. But they're like, but if he was in charge, he would murder your children and use the corpses to pay for buses. You'd be like, ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I think that's okay. Yeah, okay, now I'm gonna just order this thing, and then add that, and then go like this. Okay, I'm still waiting for my delightful delivery. It's gonna be soon, internet. It's gonna be soon. It's gonna be real good. Also, gummy bears. You should get a Slurpee and ask them to lair it. Man, I love Slurpees, but it wasn't an option, or I would have got one. I feel like Americans don't go as crazy about Slurpees as you should. It's pure sugar injected into your veins, more or less. Also, you gotta stop with this, Ghasts. I'm trying to build something here, and you're just trying to destroy it. It's not very constructive of you. It's literally the opposite, I would say. No. Come on, I just feel like it's a waste of Netherrack. You know I'm just gonna rebuild it, so why destroy it? Okay, let's go place all of these extra blocks, because we do need them. Make the road just a little bit wider. Okay, so now I've got... Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, so I got 2 orders right now, or is it 1 order? I don't know how this actually works. Okay, orders. Yeah, I got an order and it's coming in. It's coming in 45 minutes. Okay, well I guess the stream's going for a while. Are we only streaming till the pickaxe breaks today? Says Jaden not. Now, we're streaming till the food arrives today. Which, as we all know, is the much more logical way to do this. Been many years since I had a Slurpee. They're a savior on, like, road trip. Like, you could be crossing America in the most rural towns, and you can be assured the slice of happiness that is an ice-cold slushy drink is waiting there for you. It really is a joy. It really is. Has to be said. Also, it looks like it got even thinner on the other side of this. So, we'll make this a bit wider to account for the fact that it's meant to go all the way over here. And then we'll also make sure that this stays the same width. So we'll remove that now. And then we'll place a block there. And then it's 2 blocks next to each of these. Okay, nice and doable. I'll confirm that's correct and it's not the other side going wrong. But I'm sure it's not. Also, yeah, I really... Also, I do not like red Slurpees. They taste like cherry medicine. I think... Oh, man, that was such a boost. That was such a boost. Why do you not have more ghasts? I have so many ghasts. What are you talking about? Are you like, you know what? Why is your screen not covered in them? No, Minecraft uses a really weird rule, like a set of rules, I should say. But it just... Come on, dude. You gotta learn when to stop. That time was a while ago. Honestly, that's why having these walls will be good. It'll stop that from happening, if nothing else. Okay, he wants to fire at me, but he can't fire at me. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I throw Twinkies at the ghast. Honestly, basically every food that's like people say they hate and it's bad for you, etc. It's like so good, and the reason people hate it is because you have too much of it one time, and you're like, oh, never again. Because your body, it has this weird system. Oh man, see, why would you say there's not enough ghasts? Why would anyone have that opinion? Seriously, I want to know who you are, what you do in your day-to-day life. That you go around thinking, yeah, there's just no lack of ghasts is a real problem. What sort of a life are you leading? Now I have to go mine inside or I'll literally die. That's okay. Literally dying, not even that bad anymore. You know, with healthcare these days, literally dying is just a setback. Also, ghasts come out of nowhere and mess everything up. Yeah, I think that's the one big fatal flaw of building in the Nether. It'd be cool to like have a way to stop the ghast spawning, but another part of me says like, well, that's half the fun of building here, is that you know you might die, and you just kind of have to live with that. And that is actually true, if we're being honest, right? Is that a part of what makes the Nether so interesting as a dimension is, well, I'm just doing a pretty big tunnel, but I'm still almost dying quite frequently. More frequently than you might expect. Don't Americans have to bring their own cup? No, they do have a thing though where you get it for cheaper if you bring your own cup, which, you know, that's sustainability or something. And then they sell like silly sized ones. Can I show you, let me show you something. So bear in mind a Slurpee is a slush drink. So it's like, it's very high in sugar per 100 mils. If you get one that's this size, that's still like a ludicrous amount of sugar to add to your day. So now let me show you the Slurpee biggest cup. They sell like reusable cups that are like hilariously sized. Oh, I'm actually getting mixed up with the big gulp. It's the big gulp that comes in the silly size. So yeah, you get a container. I don't know what 64 ounces is in any real sense of the word. Okay, big gulp, biggest cup. And it's obviously that thing where it's like a novelty, but I think this one has to be a joke. I think. Wait, let me show you. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at like streaming. I'll just sit here laughing at a webpage for a minute. Okay, it looks like, well, look at this image. What is the size of this? I think that one's a joke. But if I'm not mistaken, there are, you get ones that are like, okay, there we go. This is the size. This is what I believe is the biggest size. It is, it doesn't look actually that huge, but it is very huge, and you can fill it all for, $1.99 or something. It's very good. Drink more. It's good for you. When has drinking 2 liters of soda ever been bad for a person? Sugar fuels America. Yeah, I was thinking recently, and I think food is an addiction. It's just the most societally acceptable addiction. Like carbs and sugar and blah 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 blah. Like the food groups that are less desirable by modern standards. They're actually all just very, very... Like, try and eat a pizza, like a slice of a pizza, and tell me you don't immediately want more. Try and eat 4 crisps. That's right, just 4 crisps. Just open a bag, have 4, and then say, oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't, and put it away. Has anyone ever done that in the history of the concept? I don't know if they have. Sugar fuels me and my country. Wait, sugar... What is that? Sugar does fuel me and my country. It's good for you, really. No, I think we're always finding new semi-destructive ways to enjoy our lives, right? Like, if something is enjoyable, there are lots of people who have a vested interest in making sure that you do as much of that thing as possible, which is a really cool interest, but this is just frustrating beyond belief. I don't even know how to... Okay, but yeah, when something is enjoyable, and they know they can use that, it will, like, when cigarettes were first invented, it's a bad example, but it proves the point. Like, who would, it's dumb, it's bad, and then people worked out how to make smoking as tolerable as possible, and it turns out massively increasing the smoking market actually led to more people smoking. It's a crazy revelation they had, but it's one they came to. I'm pretty sure they have a holiday where you can bring your own cup, and then on the day 7-Eleven you get them for free. No? Yeah, so on 7-Eleven, I always go to 7-Eleven. It's a smart deal. Like, the machine doesn't cost them a huge amount to run per person. Loads of people come in and buy something else. I bought some Skittles that day. They were $1.99. I effectively paid for my Slurpee. And then I got Skittles too. Who's not winning here? Yeah, it's, man, also the scale of this project sometimes. Scale of this project. Why do Americans have 2-liter bottles, some 1 liter, but every other drink size is in fluid ounces? You know, I'm glad, thank you, Jeff Sand. I've never really understood that one either. Like, America's very proud of not being on metric, but then every now and then, it's like, wait, why are we using metric for this? The only thing I can think of is that, like, getting a bottle of 64 ounces would make you go like, oh god, what am I doing here? But 2 liters, that's not a high number of liters. Like, I heard, if I describe my weight to you, I think I'm 80 I'm 80 kilograms. That sounds really, really, I mean, that sounds low probably if you're used to pounds. If I say I'm 80,000 grams, or if I say, you know, like, instead of, this bottle holds 1,200 milliliters. That's like a big amount. Like, it makes you present. Like, we know when a number is huge, and we know when a number is small. And the measurements of units are... also 2 liters of Slurpee, though. Man, 2 liters of Slurpee would be so delicious. I'm getting excited thinking about that idea. Man, why didn't I order Slurpee? I mean, it wasn't available on the app, but why didn't I get one anyway? Why don't I go for a walk to get me a Slurpee after this? My dad used to buy a 3-liter bottle of soda. Haven't seen those as an adult. Yeah, I bought one when I was like 12 and I had an all-nighter. So I just drank a Fanta bottle slowly over the course of the night. Probably did some horrific damage to 12-year-old me, or 13-year-old me, or whatever. But the thing in there, it is weird. I haven't seen one since. You're right. I used to wonder that and then think, like, maybe I just never saw it, or maybe they fell out of popularity. I wonder why you can't buy 3-liter soda bottles anymore. They probably just didn't cost much more than 2 liters, and then people weren't buying the 2-liter ones as much, or... No, that's... You know, I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have a real think about this one. I'm gonna find this answer, and then I'm gonna get back to you. That's what that's gonna be. How do I Scottish up a Slurpee? Oh yeah, alcoholic Slurpees. To me, that's like a... not to just name drop, but to me that's like a Vegas thing. Like, there are so many places here you can buy an alcoholic Slurpee. It's like ludicrous. Like I had one just the other. I had a Cadillac Margarita Slurpee. It was oh, like, it's slush or whatever. It was fairly expensive actually. It was like $15. It was very good though. You know, it was very good. It was made by a woman not wearing very much. I think looking back, you were probably meant to pay in part for that. I also feel... Okay, thank you very much for the tip.
Toy cat tax.
You know, thank you for paying the toy cat tax, Radon. The only tax in the world, which is voluntary, and which you can feel good about paying, because it was your choice. I really appreciate that, Radon. I hope you're having a great day. You know, my ice cream cake, if that gives me diabetes, that is partially on you, though. So just letting you know. Your taxes do go to funding great things, like... But they also go to funding ice cream cakes. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. If everyone's aware of that, we'll be good. This all goes up by 2 blocks. And the layer behind that goes up by 2. And I think I've made some horrific mistakes in here, if I'm being honest, but it's fine. Yeah, I think I cut this way too far in. That's fine, though. It's fine. So, yeah, block there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Just so I can keep the pattern going consistently through here. Okay, so now... Oh, no, just keeps on going. Oh, yeah, because I've made so many blocks following the same configuration. It's going to be a lot of work to undo that. You know what? Now is a good time for me to come through here and instead work on something else. Because this is a disaster. So yeah, let's get rid of this big, like, Netherrack set of blocks in the middle. Just because it opens up the tunnel, and then we'll be able to see more of it finally. I think that's got some value to it. So Kat, think of all the time you'd save if you did some off-camera building. You know, why don't... Okay, real quickly, chat, I have to go pick up my food. I guess we better build off camera real quick. Okay, someone's picking up my order now. The food is on... I mean, the food's... It's not on its way. Someone is on their way to the food. Which is interesting. I don't get diabetes. Diabetes fears me because of how much I eat. I have to change my name on here, says Sarah Langdon. Why do you want to change your name? What is the rationale behind that? It is kind of weird to have your full name out on the internet. That's one of those weird standards that, like, people tried to make a thing, like, kind of uncomfortably so. Like, oh yeah, well, everyone should just have all of their... You know, if you don't have your home address visible at all times, how do people know that you're not a troll? It's like, wait a minute, I don't think you understand that. That's not how that one works at all. Also, tell why make tunnel. Why make tunnel is because need fly fast through Nether. Current method, too slow. Okay, so let's combine all these swords together. This is one of those things that is a pain to do on a controller. But someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. My last name is also the name of a Scottish castle. Go wild. Wait, is that where you live? Can I help you move? You know, I'm totally down to. I want to see a Scottish castle. No, why am I not already seeing a Scottish castle? That's the real disappointing truth. My last initial here is actually not correct. It was for another reason, but it does throw off anyone trying to dox me. Yeah, if you give me £12. You know, I think it would be funny to like do like a if a celebrity is like, oh yeah, you can help me move. All it will cost you is, you know, $20 plus tax. You know, just what you gotta do, you gotta just come over, and then pay me the $20, and then you can help me move. Put things in the trucks, take it out of the trucks. It's all in boxes, obviously. You don't get to touch anything, but you know, then you'll be able to. You have the moving experience like you really were there, because you really were. Wow, I know, it's very generous of me to offer. Also known as how ToyCat is crowdfunding his next move. Okay, man, it's just a bit of an inconvenience, but I'll just place some blocks. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place some blocks up here, so I can look at this and say that's 2, that's 2, that's 1. That's not 1, that's just a random block. That's a missing block up there. Missing block, missing block. And then it's a series of 1s. Okay, yeah, we got that correct. Then it's a series of 2s. We got that more or less correct. Then it's another series of 2, which we've also got correct. And then it's just the 5 deep after that. And then we've actually finished this side of the tunnel. That is very good to hear. Can't believe we're finally making these bits of progress here. First things first, though. Empty out the Netherrack. I finally finished the first shulker box. Now let's finish the second. Minecraft's Earth's worst mistake wasn't the pandemic. It was launching in North America winter. I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, Jeff Shannon. People inherently want to go outside in the summer and like are excited to have reasons to do so. In the winter, it's best for your hardcore fans. But, you know, then you should argue, well, why didn't it pick up during the summer? And I think the reason is because people are really fickle. And if something's not, like, brand new, fresh, then they're not excited. I mean, you know, that's my personal take. Like, why would you do something that's already old? I do not understand. ToyCat, how much to help you move? You're not, pay me £12 and you can help me move. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be... Also, because the initial hype died down by the time the summer came. But then, like... First of all, why the initial hype to me... Okay, my real take on why Minecraft Earth failed is because they kept insisting on doing this dumb beta launch where they're like, we launch country by country and only for some users in that country. And so I wanted to play it, and it was like 9 months before I actually could. It was quite cold at that point in time, so I'd go outside and I had fun with it. But everyone else had been playing it for so long. It wasn't like we... The cool thing about a brand new game is everyone goes and discovers it on the same day. To me, that's one of the coolest feelings of any game. Is that feeling of we're all discovering stuff together. And you lose that feeling in its entirety when people have been playing this game and you don't have the option because you didn't do a thing. You know, you're not in Iceland, so you can't play Minecraft Earth. So that to me was a big flaw, to say the least. But then as well as that, oh yeah, this whole thing is a bit of a mess. They made a limited edition Minecraft Lego set. It's very cute. It is indeed very cute. It does have to be said. But yeah, ToyCat, do you know how to get bamboo planks? I can never get them in survival. You've got to turn on the 1.18 data pack. That's 99% the mistake that you're making. 90% chance that it's not, but it's a very easy mistake to make. I wouldn't blame you if you did make it. Okay, so we're going to mine this block up there, and then we're going to mine this block all the way up to the top until we have 2 high above us, and until we have walls, which line up with these walls. Actually, wait, is this... Yeah, this is the second set of 2, so this is the wall. And this is the wall. This is the wall, and this is the wall. I think at least, yeah. So now, just gotta place a block. Oh gosh, it's such a pain to try and navigate around this tunnel. Building it this way, arguably not the best way to do it. But as it slowly comes into completion, it is enjoyable. Having a huge project, there is just an enjoyment as it seems impossible, but then you're working away, you're talking about Death Note or whatever else, and then at some point, it gets a little bit closer. And you're like, ooh, maybe I do be making progress after all. But yeah, they wanted to prevent server stress, but then they ruined the, like, they solved a technical problem, but they created a marketing problem. A marketing problem that seemingly killed the game. This is what a lot of people don't understand. Like, every big, like, studio, game company, whatever, is always fighting lots of different forces. Like, there is the force of, your employees, really important. Your engineering department is going to say, this isn't possible. Your legal department is going to say, don't do anything that might cause any offense to anyone. Because the best way to avoid being sued is to avoid anyone wanting to sue you. That's why there's so many dumb legal things that, like, aren't fun for anyone. And then the PR department are like, let's do something a little bit controversial here that we can maybe market via these channels. Or maybe they're a bad marketing department and they go, let's all be as boring as possible so we can put out a press release at 5 p.m. You get the point, right? There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of departments within a company that are all kind of fighting for like their own little mini vision. And yeah, if you solve an engineering problem but you create bigger problems, you haven't solved an engineering problem. You've just moved your problem, in my opinion. That's just my take here. Also, oh god, my legal department has advised me that some people are offended by opinions if they do not come with clear disclaimers that they are not statements of fact. And so as a result, I would like to clarify the IBX Toycat LLC. Also, I'm up to an ice cream cake. Also, wait, actually, chat, yeah, ice cream cakes. Where do you get your favorite ice cream cakes from? Where should I get my new favorite ice cream cake from? You gotta tell me. Hey Toycat, hope all is well. I'll tell you what, I'm not just doing well, I'm doing desert well. Thank you for asking, McBella78. How's it going, by the way? You doing good? I've been having a day today. It's and I've been going up and down quite a bit, which is a good sign, right? Better to go up and down than to be stuck down and not even know it. But it'd be better to be all the way up. So there's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, just like my day. Also, I'm so cold. My AC is just like blasting right now. I'm gonna freeze to death eventually. Whew, I'm gonna put on a hoodie. Can someone explain to me? So the outside temperature is 13 degrees, but I never need to turn on the heater. I only ever have to turn on the AC. Oh, hoodie smells funny. I only ever have to turn on the AC. Oh, it's so cold. Which is, there is a certain irony in it. It's like cold outside, and then you're putting on too much cold on the inside. Okay, my food won't be here till 3:15 now. Guess what that means? More stream time. Wawa hoodie, Philadelphia represent. It's got a Canada Goose on it. How could I not represent it? How could I not? That's the question. AC, we have 6 inches of snow here. Yeah, that's what's confusing, right? It's like, it's cold out. It's not snowy outside, but it's not even cold, honestly. It's like fine outside. Insulation. But I guess, surely eventually, like this water, it was ice cold when I put it in. It's a really well insulated bottle, but eventually the outside gets in. And you'd never expect the water to get warmer than the outside, right? So how does the apartment get warmer than the outside? So your delivery driver's watching the stream, taking a sweet sign so the stream will last. That's a valid theory. I mean, it's a very, 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 very low chance, but it's technically possible. Also, come on, Ghast! Ah! I'm gonna put something in there to stop them spawning, aren't I? Because I'm just backing away from this guy. This is not my concern. I do not want it to be. Yeah, I think I messed up here. I've got a third set of 1 when this needs to be a double. Is the Ghast still there, do you think? Ah, the Ghast is gone. Perfect. Yeah, Ghast explosion here would do a lot of damage to my self-esteem. So, definitely good to not have one of those. Okay, let's run through. Blaze spawn, a little bit frustrating. I need a shield, honestly. I think, like, this Blaze is the exact situation where just, like, I will take damage. There's not a lot I can do otherwise. And that sucks. Okay. Well, I actually just about avoided it there. Okay, so this... Okay. Yeah, this is pretty good otherwise. Okay, so get away from that Ghast. Get away from these rough edges. Let's just jump up here. And let's follow it along. Mining it because this is the big side corner now. So then this should... Oh god, what has happened here? Something horribly wrong has happened here. But there should be a block over here and over here. And then above me there should be 5 blocks. Wait, how can this be correct? How can this be... Okay, so then that goes up too. Oh no, there, this is just fine. This is correct. It feels wrong. I spent a lot of time mining in Netherrack that I'm now having to replace, which is a little bit of a humbling experience. But you know, it's perfectly fine. Also, Toycat, what are you digging the Nether tunnel for? Are you just digging it to make a tunnel? Sometimes you just want a tunnel, you know? Like, if you look at countries that have tunnels and countries that don't, it's not that the countries that don't have tunnels, that have tunnels need them more. They just get bored one day. And what else do you do when you're bored besides make a tunnel? Name a single other thing that you could do. Or you can't do that because there's precisely no other joy to be found in life besides the joy that comes from tunnel building. That's just a fact. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is going quite nicely for me. So everywhere this is, we just do a little bit of digging up, as well as dig into the side, obviously. And then we slowly, but surely, end up with a dugout tunnel. I think I'm doing this very imprecisely, but I think it's working anyway. No, yeah, I have countries with tunnels greater than, says Katie. Exactly. Just the objectively correct places. I recently... So, like I said, I've been watching Death Note. I think it's pretty good. I recently been trying to watch, like, some brand new shows on Netflix. Just, like, giving some a try. Does anyone else feel like the first episode of every show is never as engaging as it needs to be? It's always I think this says something about, like, how your psyche changes as you age or something like that. But, like, watching a brand new show is, like, such a big commitment with usually such little payoff. I guess it's almost, to some extent, the same for YouTube. Like, yeah, there's so much YouTube content. How do you know what's good without watching it and finding out? Magic algorithms, that's what. But yeah, so I watched this show about, it's a bartending show. It's called, like, The Ultimate Bartender. And I was like, well, I like cocktails. Maybe I'd like a show where I watch cocktails be made. What a great idea that sounds like. And honestly, it does sound quite interesting, in my opinion. But, the big problem, okay, so slowly but surely getting there, by the way. The big problem is it has the, like, I feel like a lot of TV shows fall into this of like, well, bartending isn't interesting enough to make a show by itself. So it's a competition. You're like, okay, that's fine. Okay, and then there's drama. You're like, okay, that's fine. Then there's fake drama. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then we're also gonna make it like kind of race-based, and we're gonna, okay, that's fine. That's like, you know, that's what modern TV audiences crave. And it's like, okay, and then also we're gonna have the judges be unnecessarily mean. And you're like, okay, that's arguably defeats the point of a competition, but fine. And it's like, and then also the prize is so low stakes that all of that is for nothing. You might win $10,000. It's like, okay, so the stakes are low. You're just watching people make cocktails. It is a lot of fun. Even work. Okay, this is something you shouldn't do. But after the show, I was like, I'm gonna look into these people, and because there's one girl in it who's like an Instagram bartender. She's like the most annoying person in the world. If you like being annoyed at someone, I could recommend The Ultimate Bartender, but or The Ultimate Bar, whatever it's called. But the big problem is that like the weird thing is that looking into them and seeing that like they're not because they act like it's the ultimate bartenders. They're all the best bartenders in the world. They're all like celebrity or like, you know, TV people who are like their proudest accomplishment is being on this show. That tells you, you know, right there in a very obvious way, like, well, if it's their proudest accomplishment is being here, then this is the best thing they've done, and therefore they weren't as elite before they did this thing than afterwards. Which is interesting. If I want to be annoyed at someone, I'll just talk to my husband. See, that's marriage, right? That's marriage. That's a good line. That's a good line. You know, I do think, okay, you know what? I think people do need a source, an outlet for the anger and the annoyance in their life. Like, no question. Also, what do you agree the release of Cats in December of 2019 started everything bad in 2020? You know, I don't even know. Is Cats the musical? I feel like I'm out of the loop or something on this. But I knew it was horrifying, but I never actually got around to watching it. Like, I heard a lot of people say it was awful, a lot of people say it was good. And that to me is a sign that it must be exactly okay, right? Also, where are my shulker boxes? Okay, there they are. They're gonna go missing soon. So I'm probably gonna have to move them, actually. Also, I have 2 shulker boxes on me. What's the blue one for? Should work that out, huh? Should definitely be going ahead and working that out. So move those away so we can put the Nether quartz in there. I'm gonna move so much Nether quartz, actually. Yeah, that's my idea. I'm gonna fly all the way over here. Create the maximum spawning chaos. Also, Toy Cat's Cats musical. I mean, why was it not sung by cats? I feel like that's what's the word? Like cultural appropriation. They took the cat culture, but they didn't even get it played by people off that same culture. I just think it's a little bit offensive. They should be educating themselves and doing better, in my opinion. Also, yeah, now we're gonna grab all of the Nether quartz. How much is there? That's the question. Is there a lot? Is there a little? There's certainly a medium amount. And then, yeah, we also have to fill the slots in that I guess we've left. Well, that's a problem for later. I'm so scared that this gets blown up by a ghast. Like, it is my big fear in life. You can lose so many items so quickly that way. Your green screen hair makes it look like you've got Joker hair. Well, you see, I do not know my Joker impression, so it will be a Frenchman instead. No, yeah, what's the why so serious, I think, is the Joker? Why? Honestly, my green screening sucks here. I do not have any form of even lighting. I have light in front of me, but it goes away for half the day. It is horrendous. I am slightly greener. Like, look at this. Maybe just the color key in Streamlabs doesn't work as well as regular OBS for some reason, or maybe I'm just really bad at. But it is one of my big regrets and mistakes. Phantom of the Opera and Les Miserables were amazing. I will have to say, the best musical ever. Like I've watched like 4 musicals now, which is I hate musical numbers in shows. I think it's such a terrible way of telling a story. Like, but the worst moment in a TV show is when randomly, like a good TV show is like, this is a musical and we're doing it now because we're singing and that's how we be. We are singing and it's a show. And it's like, why do we have to? You know, why can't you stick to being a TV show? I liked you when you were a TV show. I could understand all the words you were saying. Whereas now, you know, like, because everything has to be told like indirectly and blah 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 blah. Long story short, is musical numbers very, very bad. I think that's actually one of the things that, like, Netflix has so much data on like what makes you watch and not watch a show, and I'm sure that they must have so many people like pause or like leave a show and never come back during the musical bits. I think that's one of the things that like data kind of ruins. Is like, also I got a message saying oh wow, it's finally happening, internet. It's finally happening. We ordered a long time ago, but there is going to be some food. When is going to be the next one? I want to do the really absurdly long live stream this week. Chat, I know this is going to be terrible timing, but I think I want to do the 16-hour long live stream. You know, really push myself, like a Toy Cat the musical. I guess I want to do 100 days, but do it live. I guess that's 16 hours, 40 minutes. More like 17 hours by the time you include world generation and nights where you don't sleep, all that sort of stuff. I think I want to do it. Because I was thinking like, okay, well, we could split it into two, but if you split it into two, you lose some of the spectacle, etc., etc. I think you got to do it all in one. I think it's got to be, this is 100 days, but it's live. I think we need to definitely get rotating moderators, because I think we'd kill Cat. Like, literally, we'd be murdering her. I don't think that's going to work, but we basically Cat drinks while modding chat and dealing with offspring. If you think you can do 17 hours, I would be more than impressed. But yeah, I feel like I want to do that. Just as a challenge to myself, you know. I bet afterwards I'll be like, okay, can't do that again. That's not happening again. But I think it would be very interesting. So yeah, that'll be this week. I'll be here the whole 16 hours, says Jaden Not. I'll be like 3 hours in thinking like, this is a bad idea. And then I'll be 6 hours in thinking like, this is still a very bad idea. And then you can probably see where that's going. You can probably guess the trend on that one. Yeah, I think it'd be fun though. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'll be here for at least an hour for those 16 hours, you can trust me. Wow, that is just as generous an offer as everyone else is making. Okay, I need to get socks on, and I need to go pick up my food, internet. So, yeah, I'm actually, you know, before I do that, let me give the tunnel one quick fly through. Because the whole point of this tunnel is so I can fly through it effectively, right? And so the question is, how well does the tunnel fly? Let me show you what it's like so far. Because I'm somewhat proud of this. If I'm allowed to be, then I am. Let me show you what we've got so far. Whee! Ouchie. So as you can see, it is very wide. It's wide enough that we don't have to worry about hitting the walls. It doesn't look like a circle because it's diagonal though. Like, it just doesn't. It looks it looks taller than it is wide, which is probably the better way you'd want to do it, but that's a weird accent. Out here, it looks much better. Out here, this is like genuinely impressive in a big way. So yeah, I think next the next part of this, we're gonna spend a lot of time placing the deep slate, or the polished deep slate, or whatever it's called. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed coming along today. You had a good time. That's good. I made a video earlier, and I'm gonna release one on the second channel after this. It's gonna be a content-filled day. People call it content nowadays, so I'm content with that personally. I hope that... Okay, so we're gonna push the minecart up. I'm gonna go this way. Oh god, that ghast is gonna ruin my life again. I can just sense it. Get off, and then we'll give it a push right back. And then let's go put our Netherrack away. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to really run here. Buy and get a bow. Oh yeah, a bow is definitely the smart thing to do here. Honestly, yeah, that's what I should do. If I have a Let's Play episode tomorrow, it'll be that. No, I wanted to make a Let's Play for so long. It's really sad. But you know, self-imposed, I guess, sadness if nothing else. Okay, so where is all my Netherrack at right now? Where are all those shulker boxes that I made? Like, where are they sitting? There's got to be somewhere. I just don't know where somewhere is. Can you stream 16 hours of you eating? Says Carl Raid. Now that is a good idea. That's an idea I can get myself on board with. No, thank you very much for watching this thing. If you liked it, you can watch more of this thing. And if you didn't like it, then I'm sorry. What could improve next time? Just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna go put socks on and go run out my door. See you. Or maybe I won't. Or maybe I will.